Hello everybody, I'm Novazaki52 and this is my 1993 Honda Civic Del Sol. Now that I've shown you the car, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of all the issues that I have found. One of the most major issues I have found is rust, 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 and rust. One of the other issues that I have is the door latch things. They're kind of cracked and it's bending to this, like if you can see that, is bent outwards. So the door doesn't really shut all the way. I can show you that. So the door kind of sticks out. At the passenger side, it's on its way out, but it's okay for now. Actually, the passenger side isn't really that bad. It's just starting to crack, but I'll probably deal with that because on this side, the rust is not bad at all. Actually, this side is pretty much perfect compared to the other side. The other side, the rust is most likely caused by the door not sealing all the way, letting in water, and then it would be sitting there and it would have rusted through, which obviously happened. There is some rust in here, which is Del Sol problems. I wasn't really expecting that not to be an issue. Other than that, there's really just small little weird things that it would be tedious and kind of annoying to talk about because they're such small little things that don't really matter. One, for example, being this shifter. It's kind of weird because I think there's supposed to be like springs or something in there. I don't know how it works exactly because I haven't really cared to look that up, but there's like more tension pushing it this way than there's that way. So as you can tell, it's like, but that's like really weak this way, but I don't know how exactly that's supposed to be, but it just seems to be leaning this way. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but I assume it's not supposed to be that way. But if you could let me know down in the comments, that'd be cool. I haven't personally modified this car yet, but I plan to do that. Everything has been done by the previous owners. Some things that were already done to it when I got it, as far as I can tell. These are LEDs, but actually I can tell this one is still a stock bulb, and same with this, and the one on that side is out. Crappy aftermarket radio. It does have aftermarket speakers, which I'm guessing they're decent speakers. It's just this thing is bottlenecking everything. The previous owner also did install HIDs and aftermarket headlights with LEDs. So bright white. This actually is a yellow fog light. You probably saw that already, but these are LEDs. This is an HID. That's still, for some reason, an incandescent bulb, but it's a mix of everything. Don't know why. The rear lights are still the stock lights with all the, not original, but like OEM style bulbs. Same with everything back here. I plan to install all LEDs everywhere, and I'd probably put resistors in because currently, because of the front LEDs, the blinking is slightly faster than it originally would be, but yeah, nothing too crazy. Here's a shot with the fog lights on. Actually, it looks pretty nice, in my opinion. But I do have the stock Stanley fog lights. So I was thinking about putting those in at one point, but the yellow ones kind of grew on me because I couldn't get those yellow ones out. So these wheels are Honda stock wheels. I took them off and I looked at them and it had an NK logo on them. I googled it and apparently they're Civic HX wheels, but I have no clue what they are. If you want to tell me in the comments, that's cool. But shiny new lug nuts, but I want to change those out for black ones. That way it actually doesn't look like I'm using steelies. The front calipers are painted. The rear still has drum brakes, but that doesn't really matter. Not like it's pushing any power. It still has 102 horsepower out of the stock engine. This is actually the Del Sol S, so it has the D15 B7, so 102 horsepower, nothing special. The previous owner did install a cold air intake, which I guess is kind of nice. I still have the stock intake in my basement. Paint is chipping everywhere. Probably gonna paint that. Gonna do a valve cover gasket, new plugs, wires, distributor cap, and rotor. I'm gonna change the oil, flush the coolant because the coolant looks disgusting. I do plan on pushing more power eventually, either a turbo kit or an engine swap. I have no clue what I'm gonna do yet. Some of the cosmetic issues are kind of random, but there is a cracked bumper. The bumper actually, the screw holes for the license plate are like broken. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, this one's like completely stripped out. I just put zip ties in. This isn't actually a valid license plate. This is from like the 80s or 90s, and it hasn't been valid since 2001, I think. So I don't really care if you see that. Paint chipping everywhere. As you can probably tell, there's actually this little crease looking thing in here from the hood latch. I don't know what I should do with that, but the paint is pretty disgusting, to be honest. I don't know what I should do with the paint. I do want to keep this stock color because it looks nice with the black and white. There's some rust in like random places. There was a sticker here, so like there's like stuff left. I haven't washed the car because seals are bad. There's this seal, and actually the Targa top seal is one of the Targa seals on the passenger side of that. I can actually show you that in a second. So this is the seal that I was talking about. It's actually got sliced by the window. I didn't notice, but this thing was kind of like flapped out like this, and the window was going up, and then it got sliced. So the only thing holding it in is this little piece right there, and there's a fluff in here. There is some silicone holding this together. I don't really know what I should do with this. Someone recommended putting it back together with silicone, but I don't know if that's gonna cut it. I couldn't really find any seals for this side. I could actually only find them for the driver's side. But yeah. Other than the driver's side rust on this thing over here, on the A-pillar, whatever you want to call this part, and this seal right here. So I haven't really washed the car due to those two issues. That and the door not closing properly, because I don't really want to get water inside the car. Especially because I don't want it rusting any more than how bad it already is. I do have all the windows down. All the windows are functional. It does not have power locks. It does not have power steering. It does not have AC. It does not have power locks, which this is the base model, so I don't really care. It's a pretty light car, so it doesn't really matter that it has no power steering. And I don't really think there's any much left to talk about. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'm gonna roll a cold start. So here.